Well, good day, everybody. Sean Henderson, Pierre the Beverage Ramble, back again with you. Another Beverage Ramble edition today. Top of the hat, Pilgrim Lone Star. Now, this beer, interesting, has been under a lot of different hands, and I'm gonna do my best to sum up who has owned what. So, 4.6 ABV. Maybe 4.7 ABV, to say 4.65 on Beer Advocate. So you want to round it off to the high, they say back in school, round off to the highest number. So 4.7. Gets a poor score on Beer Advocate. They don't care for it. So Lone Star uses the finest hops and all this and that ingredients give the full natural flavor. Nice hops. Aroma of beer and its proprietary meshing regime. Blah 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 blah. 4.65 ABV, Northwest, heavy grains, hearty grains. Anyway, on to the ownership of the beer. I'm just gonna go right there. It was under the guidance of AB, InBev, and Anheuser-Busch before they bought out by InBev. All Star Brew. Uh-oh, we almost had an accident. Ooh, we almost had an accident, people. While looking at the beer, what it looks like. Bad nails, but anyway. Okay, I'm just going to do a quick summation with what's up here. In 1895, which time was housed in the old Lone State Brewery in Texas. And with the Prohibition. And the name Sappis Brewing was constructed in 600. Detroit-based Stroh's Brewery then brought Heilemann, Olympia Brewery of Washington, and brought Lone Star in 1976, and they changed hands again in 1983. And Wisconsin G. Heilemann's brought Olympia. Detroit-based Stroh Brewing Company then brought Heilemann and closed the San Antonio Brewery in 1996, moving the beer production to Longview, Texas, signaling the end of the San Antonio as a major brewing town. Marcus Pabst bought most of the Stroh's brands, including Lone Star, in 1999. So, Anheuser-Busch, was purchased by Anheuser-Busch. It was made in San Marcos before Alamo Brewing Company, San Antonio, in 1874. Company was purchased by Anheuser-Busch in 1895. At the time, it was housed at the Prohibition. And the company was operating under the name of Champion Brewing Company. So yeah, it's been under a lot of different hands. So it's just too much to really complicate. So anyway, it's under the Pabst guidance. So here it is what the beer looks like, folks. Not too bad for a lager. Saw this at Tower Brewing Company. Tower Beer, Wine, and Liquor here on Buford Highway here in Georgia. And bought the 6-pack. I said I'm going to do it. As you probably watched, if you did watch, anyway, I was giving hints of my beers I was going to be reviewing this coming days, and I mentioned one was Chicago Old Style, which is also part of the Pabst family, and Top of the Hat Pilgrim, or Top of the Hat Cowboy, and I mentioned what that beer was. So they say this is the beer of Texas. Interesting hops in this. Nice crisp. Super cold to drink this, guys. Really cold. Cold to drink this. Not too bad. Some interesting hop presence in this very well now. So right now they're contracted through Miller Brewing Company. They're brewing their beer there. That's going to be ending soon. How soon we don't know. So, yeah, sold only exclusively in Texas, but somehow we're able to get this beer here in the state. Now, when I moved up here, I noticed there were a few times I wanted to buy it, but the service stations I was going to, it just seems like the cans look pretty roughed up. And I said, well, there's a date that says 2019. Oh, another date says 2018. Yeah, I think I'm going to pass on buying those. So, and yes, I'm looking at the date right here. It says October 2021. So, it's fresh, which is a good thing. And, fresh beer tastes better. Always better. So, yeah, and we're glad. I'm glad I'm able to try it, man. I'm glad I'm able to get it because I've heard so much good things about this beer. And again, it was only sold in Texas. And again, when I lived in Mobile, it was very hard to find beers such as this, and even old style. So unless you went to New Orleans or you went to other places, then you were able to get this. But when you were where I live at, it was either this or you had whatever that was out there. And yes, we got some craft beers, but this is the mill of what we got. Accept it, take it or leave it. Excuse me. So, yeah. So this thing has kind of been very popular in a lot of shows. A lot of programming. I mean, this beer has been popular. You've seen it on the first season of True Detective. Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson, the first season, they had him drinking this. You had a couple of episodes with Young Shelton had this. I'm sure a lot of Willie Nelson, they sponsored Austin City Limits, which is that concert program that airs on PBS. Willie Nelson had this. I guess maybe used it during some of his tours. Part of the music scene in Austin. So this is a pretty fine lager, in my opinion. I think this is quite good. I'm surprised I see the pour score, but we're talking about Beer Advocate and Rate Beer in some of these sites, so whatever they say is poor may be good to you and me. Or something we may say is trash, maybe good to, Beer Advocate and the Rate Beer crowd. I don't know. Go figure. But sometimes we, the beer drinkers and the folks doing, behind Beer Advocate and Rate Beer, sometimes we'll come to some common ground on certain beers. But most times we could be off. But, so. As I mentioned before, as you, I'm sure a lot of you have been reading or heard, AB InBev is not AB, Molson Coors are going to be doing with a lot of these, classic, old school beers. The names, I ain't going to go through them. I'll mention some of them. Keystone Ice, and Steel Reserve. Miller High Life Light, some of them. And because they're seeing what's going on in the industry in terms of what people are buying, what people are drinking, what people are consuming, and they feel like, hey, maybe we need to kind of get with the times, see what's going on. So hard seltzers, mixed cocktail drinks, and mixed all this other stuff. Whether it's Long Island iced teas, gin martinis in a can, whatever. Hard seltzers, and even super duper light beers, which I can't stand, but that's what's going on right now. So, and I wonder if AB InBev and I wonder if people like Pabst Brewing will be doing the same, looking at some of their, saying, maybe we need to cut this out, or maybe we need to pull back on this one, but who knows? But maybe they will, maybe they won't, but I will say for Pabst, at times their distribution is pretty crappy. It could be a lot better. I mean, a lot better, but So I don't know what all that is, but certain beers, I say ice, Pabst Extra, PBR Extra is going away. I barely see it now. I used to see it. I saw some of it in certain spots here. Other places like scarce, and slowly is about to kind of disappear and go away. I don't know why, but anyway, for this beer, this is not bad. Again, your typical standard food. I mean, you know, barbecue, you go with this. You can pair this with some nachos and that with some chicken strips or meat strips on top of it or whatever. You know, burgers and fries. You know, I think this lager kind of pairs well with all those flavors. So, you know, I'm shocked by the poor score, but I ain't gonna go poor score on this one. This is going to be a B+ for me for the Lone Star Brewed beer by PBR ownership now. So B+, yeah, B+. I'm gonna go B+ on this one. So 9. No, I'll go B+, 8.5. So that's fair. Sean Henderson Pierre. Yeah. Sean Henderson Pierre, the beverage room. So keep on watching as always. Cheers, live, laugh, and love. Lone Star. Lone Star.